Sri Milind Deora, are you in your seat?
Sir, no, sir, I'm sorry. Sir, can I take your permission to speak from here?
Okay.
Sir, thank you for the opportunity to allow me to present my views. I understand that time is short, so I will stay away from rhetoric and give as many concrete suggestions as I can that the government can implement to ensure the nation's safety and security. So at the outset, I'd like to agree with the leader of opposition that the people of India are concerned. They are asking important questions from all politicians. And yes, as an MP of South Mumbai, the region that was most affected by these attacks, people are asking questions naturally from the government. But it's important to remind the opposition parties that they too are under the people's scanner. If people are criticizing the government for an alleged, perhaps failure of intelligence, for other security lapses, people are also questioning the opposition for politicizing the kind of investigations that were going on earlier and for changing their views from one point saying we're against a particular person who's investigating these attacks and next day joining the people of India and making those people martyrs. But if we politicize this issue, if we get into party differences, I think we'll never go beyond politics and we'll fail to fight terrorism in its truest form. So there are many stories of Mumbai that bring about emotions of sorrow and that inspire the people of this country. There are stories of bravery, there are stories of heroic efforts by civilians in this city, and I think more than the number of people who died in Mumbai city, I think the traumatic effect that the attacks have left on the people of India, because they had to watch this incident play out over a few days, is what we should address at this point. If we as Parliament, if we as legislators and policy makers across the entire political spectrum cannot put aside our petty differences and unite, I think that will be the single-handed failure in fighting terrorism. India is a solid state, India is a strong state, and I have no doubt that the government of the day will reassure the people of India that they are going to undertake some of the most important steps to ensure that these attacks are prevented in the future. I'd like to make very pointed suggestions on what the government of India should be doing. At an external level, we've heard about the United Nations refusing to ban certain terrorist outfits across the border. We've heard of another large neighbor's involvement in preventing these terrorist outfits from being proscribed. I think it's important that the government, the foreign ministry, take this up at the highest levels. And just before this discussion began, I was watching the news media and I read that now the United Nations Security Council has unanimously voted in favor of proscribing some of the most deadly terrorist outfits across the border in Pakistan, occupied Kashmir. At an internal level, it's very important that we in India, in the entire security establishment, both in the Defense Ministry as well as the Home Ministry, take some very concrete steps. I think we need to relook at our entire intelligence investigation capabilities and do our best to de-link them from politics. There were questions raised about the NSG commandos and the time they took to respond to these attacks in Mumbai city. I'm happy that the Home Minister of India has made an announcement that there will be an NSG-style commando outfit raised in cities like Mumbai and in other cities around the country. I think we have to spread them across the country, not just in the western part of India, the eastern part, cities like Kolkata, in the south, so that we can rapidly respond to these terror attacks. There are two parts to fighting terrorism. There is a preventive part and there is a response part. The response part involves everything from the local police getting better equipment, better intelligence, better training, NSG style outfit in different cities. But the key ingredient here is the preventive mechanism, and that largely rests on intelligence and investigation capabilities. We are all aware that when it comes to maritime security, the Coast Guard of India is the lead intelligence agency in preventing such things. Based on reports going around, we must ensure that the Coast Guard continues to play this pivotal and important role and coordinates between intelligence between the Navy itself and the state police across different coasts around India. I would like to laud the Prime Minister's effort and his consistent calls for a federal agency. I don't think any of us can stress the importance of having a federal agency that has not just intelligence sharing and aggregation capabilities, not just investigation sharing and aggregation capabilities, but I think more importantly, prosecution capabilities. I think that is the key to having a strong federal anti-terror agency where the central government can work with state governments to ensure that while they have a pool of intelligence, they have a pool of investigative information, they can put that into action by ensuring effective and prosecutions and convictions on time. I think to restore the people's faith in the entire security establishment, and I do agree that security establishment is much more than political leaders, it's much more than the Union Home Minister and Chief Ministers. The security establishment has a lot of faceless people also. To restore the people of India's faith in the entire security establishment, I think we can take a cue from what happened in the United States after 9/11, where they appointed a 9/11 commission that went into the exact reasons of why 9/11 happened, were there any security lapses, and then they placed that commission before the public, and that's what's led to certain actions that have prevented further attacks on countries like the United States. So if the Home Minister and the Government of India would agree, appointing a commission that is perhaps apolitical, perhaps even political, it could be on the lines of a joint parliamentary committee that can study this and place these findings before the people, I think that will go a long way in reassuring the people of India that the government has understood the core reason for this problem and is taking the necessary steps. So I was present throughout the places that were attacked in Mumbai from 10:15 p.m. on Wednesday, the 26th of November. And there are many people who are heroes who've done a great deal of service to the city and to the nation. And yes, we must compliment the efforts of people from the anti-terror squad of the Maharashtra Police, Mr. Karkare, Mr. Kamte, Mr. Salaskar, and Mr. Onikrashan from the NSG. There are also others who today are unsung heroes. The person who, as the Home Minister rightly pointed out, shielded the terrorist bullets and who led to the capture of one of the 10 terrorists, who's going to bring India a wealth of information in terms of planning and will allow India to improve its investigation capabilities. All these people are heroes. All these people deserve our utmost kudos. So I think, very briefly, that we're all demanding answers to very important questions. But I do believe that if we come together as a polity, if we come together as a parliament and we ask the right questions, we will get those answers. The key thing here is, and I do agree with the leader of opposition on this point, that while we should, if a terrorist belongs to a Muslim community, we should not say that they are linked to a particular community. We should see terrorists as terrorists, and we should not defend anyone belonging to any community. That applies to all religions. That applies to Hindus, to Muslims, to Christians. If there's any terrorist who's found across any religious community, no political party should come forward in defending that person. That, I think, is the key thing. If we can depoliticize this terror debate, that is the most basic thing that we as politicians and leaders of this country owe the people of Mumbai, and we owe the brave NSG commandos, the Maharashtra police personnel, the government, hospital staff, and all the civilians who died in this attack. So with these brief words, I finish my speech, and I'm very, very confident that the government of the day, the Home Minister in his reply, will ensure that many of these steps that will lead to better national security and improving the entire security establishment will be undertaken. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. I compliment you. Sri Mohammed Salim.
धन्यवाद सर।